Hi, I'm Dr. Garry Palmer from Sportstest. This week, I'm not happy with my performance. Well, I'm never happy with my performance. I can always do things better. Looking back over the last week, just over the last week, I've raced 4 times in the last 8 days. Probably not something I'd advise of any of my clients. I'd probably say I've over-raced. But for those of you that are following me on Twitter and Facebook, you'll know that I've qualified for Olympic Distance World Championships in Chicago in September. So I've got about 6-7 weeks to go. And part of the racing I'm looking at is training events. But I want to just focus on this thing of not being happy with your performance. So Sunday's race in particular, Olympic distance triathlon. I'd spent some time in advance of the race looking at pacing strategies, looking at what I wanted to do on the bike, looking at my power outputs, looking at average speed that I was hoping to achieve. Likewise, I'd spent time analysing the run course, what sort of average run pace would I look at. Finished the race, I was over the moon. I'd placed 7th, higher than I'd expected. And then I got the printout of the results and I was gutted. I'd been beaten into 2nd place in my age group. I was devastated, really not happy with my performance. Now, the first thing I want to comment on is that the day that I am happy with my performance is probably the day that I retire. As a focused, dedicated athlete, whether you're elite or non-elite, the day that you cross the finishing line and you couldn't have done any better than you possibly did is the day you give up. You know, you want more endurance, you want more speed, you want more fitness, you want better pacing, you want better nutrition. The day that you've got it all right, maybe that's your ultimate goal, but actually, what could you have done better? You might have won the race by 5 minutes. Doesn't matter. What could you have done to improve? And that's really what we've got to look at. So, first thing I'd suggest is that you need to target, you need to goal set. So, you need to look at internal performances rather than external performances. So, Sunday I walked away from an event. I was a bit disappointed. Really, that was on an external performance. I'd been beaten into 2nd in the age group. I was 7th overall. On paper, it was actually a pretty good result considering I've been racing such a little amount of time this season. I was really, should have been pleased with the overall outcome. But in one sense, I'm pleased that I was disappointed. Internally, analysing my performance and coming away from it and looking at other people's splits, looking at my splits, I've got work to do. I know I've got a lot of work to do. I need to massively improve my swim. I need to shave 20 or 30 seconds off my transition times. I need to learn to push myself a little bit harder on the bike. I need to get a bit faster on the bike. Despite the fact I've been doing this for years and years and years, there were some simple basic mistakes that I made with my nutrition. So I've come away from my last 8 days of racing thinking, right, what can I do? I've now got 6 weeks to go. Where can I improve? How can I go better? And so for me, every time you race, and very brief one today, every time you race, you should want more. You should want to know how you can improve, how you can do things better. Focus on internally what you've done, not on where you finished in the field or, yes, it's great to win, but actually were there things that you could have done better to improve your personal performance. So look at pacing, look at heart rates, look at power outputs, look at strategies. Did you attack at the right time? All of those sort of things. What could you have done to improve? Once you start doing that with your racing, that's where you're going to start to get the performances that you want to get your ultimate goal. This week, as you see, the video is brought to you by the guys that are really kindly sponsoring me for my trip to World Championships. That's the Stealth Secret Training products. And also I'd like to thank my other sponsors, my other supporters, Core Telecom, for the support they're giving me. Hopefully it's giving you something to think about. Don't be happy with your race performance. Always want more. And that way, ultimately, you'll get more. Thanks for listening this week, and I'll see you again next week.